Hello, everybody. Good morning, or I guess it's almost good afternoon. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. I have a new dog. Life is just chaos right now. I have iced tea, though. We're good. We're ready to go. This game, wow, it just, every time I think I know what's going on in this game, it gets more intense. Hey, Ryan. Yay for new puppy. Do you guys want to see her? Hold on. Let me move my... Oh, there she is. There she is. See her? She's very ensconced right now in her, her new treat. She has a little ball that you can hide food in that she's playing with right now. And she's on soft food only because she just had surgery and she got spayed, but she also had to have a tooth removed. So she's on soft food only for the next couple weeks, which means she's eating like a queen. And she's just so happy. She's so great. She's 8 months old and she's underweight, so she's definitely going to grow a lot. But, yeah, we'll see. She's a husky mix, so there's a chance she could be like 60 pounds. Right now she's only 33, though. We need to fatten her up so that we can't feel all of her ribs and everything. Yes, all the best foods. Hello, Kurt. Yeah, lots of energy. She just went for her first... Meg, what are you doing? I think where she got shaved for surgery, her hair is growing back in and it's making her itchy. Yeah, up on the couch you go. Good girl, yeah. Sleep on the couch, take a nap. She just went for her first long walk, and long walk in our house is like an hour plus. So, I wouldn't be surprised if she's quite tired. And she's still learning how to walk on a leash, but she did fantastic today. Josie has a little husky in her. She looks a little bit like she does. I agree. Originally came from Texas, but she loves the snow. I have no idea how Meg's gonna feel about snow. I don't think she's ever, like, seen it before. What are you doing, baby? Hold on. You want this pillow moved? Come here. Come on. There you go. There you go. Yeah? Does that work for you? Is this good for you in some way? Is this good for you? All right. She's watching me so intently. Settle down, baby. Yeah, she's tired. She's still such a baby, though. She's got all that puppy energy. New monarch in my home. Yeah, she's pretty great. I'm loving getting to know her, and I'm really excited to just get to watch her grow up. She's gonna fall asleep any minute now. I'll have to, I'll put pictures in the Six String Games Discord in a little bit. But yeah, I will share those there so you can see all of her cuteness. And Kurt, I don't remember if you're in Colin's Discord or not, but I also post a lot of pet pictures in there. So Pentiment, guys. This game, as usual, took a turn last night. You lurk there? Okay. I usually post the pictures in like the Happy Thoughts channel because pets make me happy. So if you want to see... I try to remember to post across different Discords, but I don't always because it's just a lot to keep track of. So I don't remember if either of you were here for last stream, but there was an incident where the entire abbey burned down. Andreas died trying to save the books, and now we're almost like 20 years in the future. And we're playing as Magdalena, who was a little baby. She's Klaus Drucker's daughter. He was viciously attacked in the night. We don't know by whom. We don't know why yet. But we suspect it has something to do with this mural that he's painting to document the history of the town. So Magdalena is taking over right now, and we're just talking to people, trying to get the real story of what's going on in the town's ancient history. Oh, Black Till's printing press. Cool. God bless you, Magdalena. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? Of course. What do you need? Oates says you've been obsessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old pot shards, and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Grandad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof, up in smoke. So you don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Grandad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. But I can show you something better than books. Don't keep me in suspense. Didn't your dad ever teach you patience? I'm trying to build up some anticipation here. Right, so we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things. Fabian, too. Any farmer would tell you the same. Wait a second. Oh yeah, the guy with the spoon in his hat. I could never figure out what his deal was. Died trying to save books. Yes, I would probably pull a stunt like that. And I have done the thing where I pull the book off the shelf that's a little too tall for me and have a bunch fall on me. It's more likely than people realize. It's all out there in the fields under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. Where are you keeping these things? Nowhere. We just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Ad hoc archaeology at its finest. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with this stuff except look at it. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. Ah, yes. The two genders, Christians and animals. Oh my god, that's too funny. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm just making sure that the computer is doing okay. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. I'd always wondered why they'd settled in such a small alpine town. Do you think there's anything left of the pagans down there? I don't know, but anything they left would have to be better preserved than what we dig out of the fields. We gotta go down there, y'all. Magdalena, tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. What if there's stuff that could help me with the mural? Magdalena! That mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. Orpheus made it back from the underworld, didn't he? I'll be fine. Maybe so, but he mocked the gods and failed in his quest, Magdalena. Don't take him as an example. For real, though. Imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. Unfortunately, my father is very injured and like to die soon anyway, so he's not going to be around to care. Oh, he doesn't have to know. You won't tell him, right? That's not going to work. I'm not lying to your father so you can put yourself in harm's way. Now, you're a clever girl, so I don't doubt you'll find a way in if you've set your mind to it. But I can't help you, Magdalena. It'd break your father's heart if something happened to you. It's fine, I understand. Good. This has been a big help. Glad to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow, if that'd help at all. Actually, yes, that would be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalena. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye out for the Lord's men. They're strict, worse now than they used to be. I'll be careful. Until tomorrow. Until then. Oh wow, Ava's old now. Hello, Ava. Magda, darling. Utz isn't here, I'm afraid. Oh, that's all right. I can find him later if I need to. I think he wandered off toward the rat house. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. Well, I already talked to him, so... That's sweet of him. He has been dropping by the rat house more often of late. He's quite fond of you. I'm surprised he has any time to visit, though. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering carpentry, too. I guess she got remarried to Black Till, maybe? I suggested a few years ago that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me, instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. Yeah, 100%. You grow up, take care of your parents. I think Dad misses Mom, even after all these years. Do you ever miss Otto? Every day. I see him in the little things Oates does, the way he smiles or how he laughs. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Oates. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. It's about that time to start finding a match, too. It's wonderful that God blessed Endris with a wife at last, but I'd rather not have Oates be in his position. Oh, so Andreas's advice to go for it and get the girl. He took the advice. That's so exciting. I'm so happy. Better to marry earlier while he can raise a family. I think I messed up my camera. Hold on. There we go. That looks slightly better. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Always good to see you, Magda. You too, Ava. Christina? Hi, Magda. Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Helping, Mom. Oates is right. You're really pretty. Ooh, he likes her. You can see one interaction with my dad coming. Remember when I changed your diaper? Revenge. Oh my god. That's funny. Huh? He said that? Uh-huh. I heard him and Kraft. Oh, I see. Hee hee. Don't tell. It's a secret. Oh, I'll keep it a secret. Ha ha. You're funny, Magda. I guess so. I mean... Let me go back to my house and grab the rope. Let's see. There's rope in the workshop. Supposedly. There we go. This should be enough rope. With a sturdy knot, I can brace myself against the mine shaft on the way down. I do also need to write a letter. Oh, I can't do that yet. I have to write a letter to Matthew, the old prior. Wait, what is it telling me to go to Baltus's room for? Oh, to the rot house. Okay. We need the missing key. Okay. Salt mine time. Still don't know whose pig that is. All right, let's do this. And they called it a mine. A mine! I have my rope to climb down, but this could take a while. Should I head in? Hell yes, let's do it. Climb down the shaft. Surely nothing bad will come of this. Oh, farting in oven minutes all over the place. Ah! Oh, God. Okay, down we go. I hope she has, like, a light source. I don't know if she thought about that. Oop, okay. This kind of reminds me of when we played Night in the Woods. And we had all that, like, funny family stuff. And the, like, secret people that were in the old mine shaft. Hmm. Sweet, a lantern. Why is a lantern down here? A modern lantern. There are a lot of different coins down here. How odd, it's not like this is a saint's well. Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Poor Jay. I hope her lover was better at things other than poetry. Well, that's, like, modern as well, huh? Oh, this looks like a larger version of some of Baltus's contraptions. This winch must have been attached to some sort of hauling and pulley system. Fascinating. Maybe to carry mine carts? Now that I'm down here, I should see what I can find from the Roman era and before. Yes, indeed. Oh, bones. They're far too big to be human. Ooh. That's not creepy at all. We're gonna go to the cave. Oh, a piece of pottery. It's beautiful. Let's check out this cave. And then we'll go in the mine shaft more. Hey, this piece looks like it matches the other piece I found. Ooh. We going on a little pottery expedition here? Ooh, another piece. Here's another piece. What is this? Oh, these must be the same kind of figurines Till and the other farmers find in the fields. To think that there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Oh, well. Didn't mean to make her just say the same thing again. Let us go deeper into the mine. Now this just feels like we're playing a longing again. Another shard. Tasia aqua mihi, det avo Pluto me servet, hic est mi mortis sicat. There's a Latin inscription here. Oh wow, old like cave drawings? Oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let me see if I can map everything out. There's the aqueduct and the spring. The abbey was an old fort up on the hill, and there's the rest of the town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mithraeum? I don't know that word. I can't quite tell what it's meant to label on the map. Maybe some sort of temple? Well, whatever it is, it's not in Tassing now. That's so odd. Okay. This pottery is scattered everywhere. Welcome to archaeology, kid. Another inscription. It's not very formal. A worker must have carved it. There's that word again, Mithraeum. It must have been important to the Romans. I don't know what that means. This almost looks like an altar. But what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. I think it's a statue of Mithras. He's usually depicted with a dagger and torch. It's less detailed than I expected. Whoop, nope, I want to get the pot. There we go. Yet another pottery piece. More Latin writing. Oh man, now I'm kind of wishing that I had taken polyglot for her so she could understand what this all says. But it's okay, we have other abilities. Still absolutely worth it to take the tinkering skills, I think. More pottery, another piece. I wonder if they're all the same pot. I have a lot of these pottery pieces. I should find out if they're all from the same pot. Okay. Need something that kind of looks like a leg. There we go. Now I need probably this piece. There we go. I need another arm. Slash kind of scroll looking thing, maybe? Is that? No. Maybe this could go. Come on. There we go. All right, this probably goes here then. I don't think that's right. Is it? Nah. Well, no, it must be. There we go. All right. That goes there. Whoops. More or less. We're getting there. What is this supposed to be a picture of? Unclear. Oh, I think I see what this is meant to be instead. That's better. Whoops. Nope. Okay. Come on. There we go. Got it. The figures on this pot lid look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth, even before the Romans. Let's see. This must be Perchta, and those must be forest spirits. Part of the wild hunt? Oh god, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Uh-oh. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perchta. The bottom half of the lid continues the story. These look like spirits. They must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. Oh, great. Just what we need. Someone that's like, I adhere to the old ways and I kill someone every so often. It'd be just like this game to pull that shit. Oh, the pupper has moved from sleeping on the couch to sleeping on the floor. Because she is the best. And she is so sleepy. That must be how our ancestors tried to keep tossing safe. They offered sacrifices to Perchta. To think that our ancestors made this and I'm holding it now, maybe this is what I could paint in the mural. I'll have to think more about it before I decide for certain. All right, I better keep going before I run out of oil in my lamp. Oh, a cave-in. The wood here looks newer than the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? I won't be able to go any farther with all the rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall showed me what Tassing was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I can find out where the Mithraeum was, or what it is. And putting the pottery shard back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tassing. I think I've seen everything I can down here. My oil is running out. Time to climb back out. Alrighty. Well, I'd say that was a very fruitful trip to the mines. Let's go. I'm a little bit worried that... Oh! Ah! Wait, who's that? Hello? Is someone there? I better get out of the shaft before another rock comes crashing down. That looked like Smokey. Who else has a beard that looks like that? That seriously looked like him. Who else could that have been? Who was that? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have some more information, I can make some decisions on the first section of the mural. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Yep, tick-tock goes the clock. Go to the rat house. Yes, yes, off I go. Oh. Oh, shit. You! Yes? I'm Haller Brent, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? Huh, do I look like I raise pigs? You look like a little girl who's going to be in a lot of trouble if she doesn't answer my question. That's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. If the pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing here? I'm with Child and I just had a craving for acorns. It's almost funny how many women have tried giving me the same excuse. All right, let me ask a different question. Whose pig is this? I don't know. That pig was in the woods when I came in here. Ah, a mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. If I find any more pigs in these woods, I'll kill them on the spot. Dude, that was so unnecessary. Nowhere is safe from an asshole with a gun, apparently. My God. And those who brought them here. Do you understand? Fine. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's laws. What a waste. I knew the Lord's men patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and back to work at the rat house. Seriously. My God. I know, right? Like, bring the pig home and probably be way too heavy. Was that you, Smokey? I need to ask you a question. Why were you leaning over me in the old salt mine? Magdalena, still wandering around in the forest? I'd get back to town quickly if I were you. Why? Seen a ghost, Smokey? Now's not the time to be making jokes, Mistress Magdalena. The Lord's warden has been stalking around the woods. He came by shortly after you did, asking about pigs and laws. He looked rather determined to start trouble. I was worried I might have sent you his way. Well, but it seems you've come back all right. I ran into him on my way back from the mine. He shot one of the town's pigs for grazing in the forest. Said it was a warning for breaking the Lord's law. Christ, was that what that crack was? I thought a tree had fallen. Yeah, there's been like 2 people that have guns in this entire game, and they're both jerks. The Lord's men haven't come through Tassing too often. I wonder what brought this one. I expect he wants full range of his forest. God forbid anyone gather what he doesn't use. Heh, abbots or lords, it doesn't matter. Even the townsfolk. Those in power will keep what's theirs away from folk who need it, just because they can. Well, hate to tell you, but that's gonna stay the same. Listen, Magdalena, that warden won't bother me, but you should get back home, all right? Don't come out into the forest for a while. Let the bastard move on to other towns. All right, thanks, Smokey. See you, Mistress Magdalena. Are you telling me not to come into the forest because you're genuinely worried, or because something else is going on? Because I have my suspicions. Craft. That must be Lucky's child. If he's even still around, I don't know. Carl. Good day, Mistress Druckrin. Wow, look at this. The Rathaus is the biggest building in Tassing. Look at the sun. Look at how beautifully that's drawn. Baltus's clock took ages to build and place. Oh, I love that. What's over here? More inventions. Oh, who's this? Gnazen. Ciao, Magdalena. I wonder if that is one of the doctors from the previous act. Magdalena, Magdalena. Yes? The cinnamon just arrived for the beer. You're making beer? Well, yes. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process. Huh. It's for the Christmas celebration. Already? We're barely into November. The wheel of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. Gesù Cristo, a cittadino face tutto. Jesus Christ, he who has the money can do anything. Problem? Of course not. It's your money. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Gnazio's complainings about the cost, the base rye we're using is free. He's like the only person that talks in that script anymore. That's kind of sad. That beautiful italic hand of an artist. Really? Yes. The farmers had so much rye this year, they just couldn't use it all. Gret made as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer? Yes, why not? Thank you. That's actually kind of genius. What's this? Baltus's workshop. I wonder if we can do another lesson soon. All right, let's check out this mural area. See what I can do. Work on mural. Oh, it's really just all that. Okay, cool. I'm curious. What is it gonna be? Oh, hey! It's Ertz. Hey, Mags, how's the mural coming along? Sigh heavily. What? Oh, right. Magdalena. Sorry. Anyway, Magdalena, how's the mural going? It doesn't look like much yet. No work of art appears significant at the start. You think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor? I suppose not. So, Magdalangelo, what are you doing? Magdalangelo, that's hilarious. I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even what I could find out about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? Yeah, I think I'm going to use the pottery and the tools. I'll use the pottery and the tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the Romans. I'm sure Father Thomas will approve, but I don't know. Just sounds kind of boring. So what made you choose this story anyway? I think, yeah, it is the strongest connection to our farmers, things that they've found. It's the most real. That makes a lot of sense. Other stories might feel like they don't really have anything to do with us. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I've figured this portion of the mural out, I better start thinking about the next section. I'll leave you to it, Magdalena. Good night, Oates. Good night, Magdalena. Bye. Working on this mural all night long. Now that I've decided how to paint or how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kearsaw's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew Fossini So used to be a brother in Kearsau. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. I should write to them both now, before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigitte gave me. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. All right, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was the Baron's before Martin stole it. I can't make much out of it. The Latin is much harder than I'm used to. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Erigo simulacrum in agre, ut Mars nostrum operem conspiciat. This one seems like a dedication to Mars to bless a field. Sedit Diana locu scaturiginosus ipsa. Yes, goddess of the hunt. This one talks about Diana wetting herself? Bathing in a spring, maybe? Oremus ut defendat oppidum. Oh, this one isn't as hard. Let us pray so that he, or she really, may defend the town. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big, though. It would be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. Werner, too. He's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe even Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Illuminata told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion now. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther, too. Let's do it. Most Reverend Matthew Fossini So, formerly of Kearsau Abbey. My name is Magdalena Druckerin. I'm the daughter of Tassing's town printer, Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's Rathaus. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. I heard that you were the sacristan at Kearsau and knew a great deal about the abbey's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the abbey's history, we would appreciate it. I know it may be small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares, and she speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help. Magdalena. All right. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoltz said that he is not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. He's going to do the best he can to make things comfortable for Dad. I'm glad he's here to help. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father, or why. I found a note by him, too. All it said was, "Stop." It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tossings has such skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about Dad. Oates has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints, too. It's sweet, and I'm glad for the company. He makes the days easier. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. All right. Translation trouble. Sister Gertrude, Baltus, Dr. Stoltz, and Father Thomas may be able to read it. Okay. We'll probably go to Baltus or Dr. Stoltz because I'm a little nervous about giving it to a religious person. They might not take it well. I'll probably ask Baltus. Werner seems a little bit tattletale-y to me. I don't know why that is, but he just does. Whee! Around and around we go! I guess it takes a while, huh? The Reichspostman! Mr. Streckerin, a few more letters for you. Yay! Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. Goodbye, horsey. I do like this part of the game. The first letter is from Reverend Matthew. Oh, he's so old, and he stayed with his monk husband. Amazing. Mistress Druckrin, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kirsau. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kirsau Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a noblewoman of the Kirsau family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kirsau changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. Sic arsit historia Kyrsis. Thus burned the history of Kiersau. While we cannot change the past, I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I can only hope that their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of St. Moritz. Who knows? Did the Romans have last names? They did, yeah. So they had the nomen, praenomen, and then sort of the family name. The first name was usually something very common, like the joke is that it's Marcus or whatever, and then their family name, and then their common name. So, like, Cicero was a nickname, but his full name was Marcus Tullius Cicero. So the middle name was really more of the family name. And then the final name would be the one that they were called as, like, a nickname to differentiate them, because they all had the same friggin' names. Apostolic poverty, what's that? Christian doctrine that calls for followers to live without owning personal property or accumulating money. While it was condemned by the Catholic Church as heretical, its defenders claim their practices are based on the lives of Christ and the apostles as described in Scripture. Oh, I didn't realize it was a joke. It was a good question, so I was like, oh, must really want to know. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kiersau's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. It is hard to be overjoyed at the news of your neighbor's late regrets. Many of the injuries inflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Regret cannot undo what has been done, but we can all find redemption through Christ. We must pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly. Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Thank the Lord you still live in a land ruled by the one true church. Not for long. I hope this has been of some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew Vossosigny, Archdeacon of Sion. Esther! Another reply from Esther, my best friend. Oh, Magdalena. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents send their deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than it is easy to travel, but I will see that we can do what Hashem allows. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet the night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of the council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? I mean, I tend to agree with that. Just saying, but I get it. We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age when all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I am glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Alicia has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and Father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Simond. His family didn't move far away after all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with Mother and Father quite often now. So I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well, Esther. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Papa! Good morning, Magdalena. I am here right on time. I hope you are well. Well enough. How's my dad? That is what we were about to discuss. How are you feeling, Klaus? His fever broke at dawn this morning. That's good news, right? All things. In time. I still feel weak. The dizziness has not receded. My head continues to spin whenever I try to sit or stand up for too long. Occasionally, I'm struck with sudden and severe headaches. The damage runs deeper than I first thought. Let me be honest here with both of you. I am worried. The circumstances are not unfolding to our benefit. No, they are not. Klaus, your health is not mending. Perhaps it is due to your age. Perhaps... We have passed numerous critical days with no change for the better. Meanwhile, the winter draws closer, and I am, running low on medical supplies. Oh, great. With the roads into town likely snowed in, especially the pass, supply shipments will not arrive for months. Have you asked Gertrude for help? I have. Truly, things must really be dire. They are not insignificant. It has been a difficult year. Even with the patrols in Bavaria, many merchants have been struck by bandits. French troops have periodically raided the western holdings of our empire. With the fall of Estragon and Skesgesfervar, I don't know how that's pronounced, I'm so sorry, to the Ottoman Turks, many trade routes from the east have been cut. The pillage of Nice by Barbarossa's corsairs and our losses in Italy have also put us into a predicament in the south. As always, we suffer from the wars of others. The Empire struggles, but can't you gather supplies around here? I will do what I can, but our options are limited. I wish I already had a copy of Vesalius De Humani Corporis Fabrica. I mean, that wouldn't really help too much, I don't think, but okay. In the meantime, Klaus, Magdalena, pray to God. I must take my leave. I will come by again next week. Oh boy. I thank you, Dr. Stoltz. This is really sad, y'all. I thank you as well. I'm only doing what I am meant to do for this town. Stay out of trouble, Magdalena. That's a weird way to say. He worries too much. I'll be all right. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be all right. Your letter from the Archdeacon. Yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He didn't have much to say. He was still upset about the Abbey's destruction. He did say that the Abbey was founded by a noblewoman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery. So much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Clares might have held on to some of the records from the convent. I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. Oh, great. Gotta go see the nuns that keep trying to get me to commit to a lifetime of chastity. No, thank you. An excellent place to start, Magdalena. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something, too. I should talk to him. Great, my favorite person. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that the others have forgotten. Elsa, I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Caviezel's used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her, I will. Thanks, Dad. Maybe something remained in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. Yes. So excited. Magdalena, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I won't go far into them, Dad, just to take a look. All right, wear a scarf, too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones. I love how they lumped age, illness, and marriage together. Yeah, I mean, that, I guess, would be the thing that would take you out of the town. Speaking of it being cold, it's cold down here. It's jacket time. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, all right? All right. Good luck. Off we go. We only have about a month to finish this before Christmas. The key to salvation, Sunday frogs. Sunday frogs, eh? Christian Tassing. There was a mass release of frogs from the tabernacle on Sunday Mass while the whole town was in attendance. I'm certain the twins had something to do with it. Amazing. What a good prank. All right, I guess we can go... Let's stop by the mill first, maybe? Oh, well, let's see if Father Thomas is in here. Is he? He is. Hello. God bless you, Magdalena. And God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing's saints. I'd like to represent them in the rat house. I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will name a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. Well... You misunderstand, Father. I may incorporate them, but there are other possibilities. Ah, then I will endeavor to convince you to include them. But you know, there is one saint you're overlooking. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course. Mary. Many people forget that that Mary is the greatest saint. And she visited on one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. What, really? I haven't heard this. It's true. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared. Makes sense. The peasant traveled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. That's not a short trip. It certainly is not. But the peasant had received a holy vision. What else could one do in the face of a divine revelation? I mean, yeah, if I really thought that, like, Mary was appearing to me and that was my belief, I might do the same. Well, when you put it that way. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. Here we go! Hi, Ryan. Thank you so much for coming by. It's always great to see you in chat. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freising. Why didn't she just give him the labyrinth the first time? The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. Oh yeah, I will let you know. Thank you so much. He met with the peasant who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story, and he came here to Tassing. The bishop came here? He did. It's the only time the bishop has come to Tassing, has ever come to Tassing. Wow. Really, no one cares about this place. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. I had no idea that's where all of this came from. It's not a story I tell much anymore. I suppose the people here think of Moritz and Satya, their connection to this place. Mary is such a core part of their prayers that they forget about our particular Mary. But in any case, Our Lady's demands were clear, so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. You're not from Tassing. How did you hear the story? True, I am not. The people told me when I came. And the former priest told them when they were children, and so on. The priest and the flock have shared the responsibility of passing on the story over the centuries. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. Have I convinced you to include the saints prominently in the mural? I think you actually have. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. God bless you in your work, Magdalena. God bless you too, Father Thomas. Our Lady of the Labyrinth. Mary, Mother of Jesus. Her painting has been here as long as I can remember. All right, let's go talk to Elsa at the mill. Magdalena, dear, what brings you up the hill? I wanted to ask you some questions about your family, for the mural. The Muellers? I only know a little about Leonard's people, I'm afraid. And much of that I've heard from others. Leonard didn't care to talk about the past. I meant your family, the one you were born to. Your family name was Caviezel, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. Can I ask, how did you come to know my family name? Dad mentioned it. He said you were the last of your family. I am not surprised your father remembers the Caviezels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I am the last of us left now. What happened to your family? My elder sister married out of the town to a man in Innsbruck. I was told she died of a fever shortly after, giving birth to her son. I'm so sorry. Yes, well, it was a long time ago. I wish I could have attended her through her birth and healing, but Leonard needed me at home. Did he, or was he just an abusive and manipulative piece of shit? I lost my brother, too, that year. What happened to him? It was so strange. He nicked himself while shearing the sheep, and 3 days later his arm swelled up, and a black ulcer settled into the wound. It didn't pain him, at least at first. He took to fever and passed in his sleep. God, I can't even imagine, not knowing about, good wound care and antibiotics. The town didn't have a doctor at the time. No one knew what to do. That's awful. Yes, well, we have Dr. Stoltz now, for all the good he does us. And your parents? Do you mean to put this all in the mural, Magdalena? I'm not sure. Any detail could help. Ah. God called them back to heaven. There is not much else to say. In any case, my grandfather told me the Caviezels have lived in Tassing for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. Were they Romans? No, the Caviezels were part of the old people, the original Bavarian people. They helped to resettle Tassing after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Ooh. That's a remarkable story. It reminds me of Parzival's quest for the Grail. Oh my god, she got that from the book that Andreas gave her when she was little. Aww. He is driven from the court of King Arthur and wanders the countryside homeless. He meets a holy man who brings him to God, and through regaining his honor, Parzival completes his journey to the Grail. What a lovely idea. When I think of the ancient Caviezel's driven from their land, only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think so. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Yes, it doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrika, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's all right. But that's so sad, too. Just as I may not know exactly how the Caviezel's resettled Tassing. What matters is that I feel close to her, and them, even though they are so far from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Oh, God, this game. It's getting me in the feels, y'all. Now go on. You've got a mural to complete. God bless you, Elsa. God bless you, Magdalena, dear. Aw. Seems like we've gotten a little bit closer. That's nice. Pet the dog, of course. Always gotta pet the dog. Like Andreas before her, she will always pet the animals when they come. I do need some help from Baltus with the Latin book, so we're gonna go check that out. Hey, Magdalena, okay. Ciao, Magdalena. Hello, Ignazio. How are you? Ah, I am well. The winter is approaching quickly, no? What is it you say here? Perchta pinching at your nose? Haha, yes, that is the saying. Baltus has been explaining many of your funny Bavarian sayings to me. I must admit, they are rather charming, even if the language is a bit rough to my tongue. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough to learn more of our funny sayings? I should return to Genoa soon, but Baltus and I still have some business to conduct. It has taken longer than I anticipated to complete. His accounts are complex. I may be forced to remain a few more weeks. Dio, who knows? It must be difficult for you to be so far from home for so long. Baltus has made me most welcome, so I'm in no particular rush. I only wish to return to Genoa before any heavy snowfall. Otherwise, my journey will take twice as long. Seriously, like traveling during this time period? What a mess. I'll let you get back to work then. Grazie, Magdalena. Until later. Hello, Baltus. Do you have a moment? Only one, I'm afraid. What can I do for you? I came across a book about the history of Tassing, and I was hoping you could help me read it. Oh no, not today. I'm far too busy for that at the moment. Ignazio and I have our hands full preparing the Christmas ale, you see? Of course. Sorry to bother you. Not at all. Apologies I couldn't be of more help. Well, that's annoying. I guess we'll go ask Dr. Stoltz, maybe? I really don't want to ask a religious character. Hello, Magdalena. Can I help you? Hello, Dr. Stoltz. I have a book here, and I can't read it very well. I was wondering if you could help me translate it. If you bring it after Christmas, I might be able to help. I have too much to do right now. I can't spare that much time. Oh, I understand. Sorry, Magdalena. Until later? Until then. Ugh, I need help, though. Am I gonna have to ask a religious character? I don't want to do that. I'll ask Father Thomas last. He's the one I really don't want to ask. Ooh, what's going on over here? Hey, Magda. But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. All right, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalena. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, Mistress Druckrin. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? On our usual walk around town, November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old, heh. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories. You listen to your daughter, Carl. You young girls think you're my keeper, is that it? I've always been your keeper, Dad. No arguments from me there. You're in a good mood today, I see. Plenty of reason to be. Tassing never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight, even in this season? On days the Lord strengthens me, I like going a bit higher up the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from there. Ah, Anton, my poor boy. Yeah, I remember him dying in the revolt. It's all right, Dad. I'm sorry, Carl. It's not your fault, Magdalena. Just a babe, then. I can't... It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. I was a fool. What happened? I know I was there, but all I remember is the flames. What a fire it was, the whole abbey engulfed. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Landsknecht stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't even imagine what that was like. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I am there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not too long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. May the Lord bless and keep her, as he keeps your mother, Magdalena. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl, Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalena, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continued with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. Everybody's still, sad and struggling. Ay, ay, ay. I should talk to Sister Gertrude, since she was a Benedictine nun at Curacao before the poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. Yes, we're going to talk to her. First, I'm going to check out the shrine, just in case anything else is here. So we'll talk to Sister Gertrude. I'm probably going to take a quick snack break after that. God bless you, Magdalena. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalena. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Tassiae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalena. That's all right, sister. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rathaus mural. Does this mean I have to ask Father Thomas? I don't want to do that. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls stored away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kearsau, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding in the history of tossing saints to the Rathaus mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. Are we going to get to go inside there after all this time? The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Well, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Magdalena Druckrin. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Aha, I see. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, Ah, yes, I see. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? Yes, let's go. Okay. I am going to take a short snack/coffee break, do some stretching, take the pupper out, and I will be back shortly. So, let's go to the BRB screen. I'll be right back. Gotta unmute the microphone. All right. And we're gonna give the pupper a treat because she's being really good and awesome. And she finished her treat from the little treat ball. So there you go. Yep. She's still not really sure what to make of this like swivel chair that I have, so. All right, where were we? Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckerin. The printer's daughter, yes, we've met, unfortunately. God bless you, Magdalena. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. I didn't know you had heard about that. Though the poor Clares are separated from the secular world, we take care to know its goings-on. Here's the other thing. It's Father Thomas is the murderer or the anchorite. I thought it was going to be the anchorite, but Father Thomas can also get into her cell. And he knows the dirt on everybody. And I don't think she's actually illiterate. He said that, but I don't believe him. I don't believe it. I think that she knows how to read and write, and I'm not sure if she's the one that keeps leaving the messages that are suspicious. Also, I have moon pie because I'm hungry and I want something sweet after lunch. So if you see me eating food, that's what it is. It's probably Father Thomas. I mean, I don't know. It might be. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, you know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalena is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. Oh, yes, the life of holiness. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. Ah, so you've decided to consider my offer after all. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. Awesome. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? I am going to lie. I'm just making sure the dog doesn't have to go to the bathroom. Hey, you. What you doing? What you doing? Yeah. Okay. You smell things, yes. I'm gonna lie. I had a holy vision. Saint Satya told me that I was destined for higher things. Mistress Magdalena, would you describe this vision for me? Receiving a message from God is a grave matter. All right, she might need to go out. Give me just 1 second. Cool. She has her toy now. Now she's satisfied. She has a little ball to hold. Good girl. Okay. Yes, receiving a message from God. That's where we were. I was sitting under the oak tree by the shrine, and Satya appeared to me. She told me that the mural is incomplete, and in order to finish it in a godly way, I need to learn more about Kirsau. You may not have had a vision, but a particularly vivid dream. Either way, the Rathaus mural, if it must be completed, ought to represent the saints' legends. I mean, if it's the history of the Abbey, that's probably going into it, just saying. Did Satya say anything else? Only that I ought to pay homage for her, and to ask someone for more insight. I came straight to the convent. You were right to do so. There are many spirits who haunt dreams, and not all of them are from the Lord. Oh, how would you know, you old windbag? I suggest you ask Father Thomas about this vision. He has the education to best aid you there. Okay, the game is really railroading me towards Father Thomas, so I guess I have to go to him and do everything. Fine. Oh, of course. While I can't speak to the vision itself, I'm happy to tell you about the poor Clares. Oh, we're gonna go in the convent? Oh! Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kirsau Double Monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. Amazing! However, the poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce, and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing, as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the devil, the Lord, damn it. Just once, I hope they say the devil. The Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalena? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Yeah, the devil made me do it, exactly. Magdalena, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me, and we will discuss your decision to join. Oh. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. Surprise! I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Rathaus. Now that the lecture is over, I can get on with what I came here for. Are you coming? But Mother Francisca said... She said that as long as I'm with you, it's fine to look around. Are you really going to get us both in trouble? No, I always follow Mother Francisca's orders. Ew, of course I do. The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the laquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop. Though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Yeah, buddy. Convent chapel. Let's go to the laquarium. We certainly saw Sister Zdena in here frequently enough. Here's the laquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is a part of our vows. I mean, I'm not going to say it sounds kind of culty, because it's pretty culty. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes, and even talk to men on occasion. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. Yeah, it's true. The only difference between a cult and a religion is numbers. Yeah, you need to, like, get critical mass to no longer be considered a cult or a fringe sect. Oh boy, the coffee's really good today. That is neither here nor there for this game, but it's just important and I think you should know. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. Like, that's a thing that shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be able to promise your baby to the church. That's not fair. Any cult over 10,000 members is considered a religion. So are critters a religion? Critters are a god, like a force of nature. It's kind of funny, actually. There's a different Discord that I'm in that is for a podcast I listen to that has nothing to do with games or tabletop RPGs, but our community has these, like, PowerPoint parties where you just submit, like, a topic for a PowerPoint that you want to make about whatever the topic is at hand for that time. And we're doing fandom drama in February. And I can't decide whether I want to do Critical Role drama or open gaming license drama. So I might do a little bit of both. I need to, like, come up with this, make a PowerPoint, OGL. Yeah, it's got to be OGL, right? Like, Critical Role drama is tangential to that because of the statement that they released and people being upset that they, like, I don't know, just... They're like, they said nothing. And then the people that went, they said everything. Yeah, it's a card-carrying critter, but not a psycho critter. Listen, I feel that, though. Like, I have not kept up with the third campaign, but, like, Critical Role fandom reached a critical mass, haha, where it just got to be too much for me. It was too intense. It was too much of a, like, negative and toxic environment. People were bringing too much of their personal shit to characters and storylines and realizing, hey, like, these are people playing a game. This is not about you. You can be along for the ride. You can be here to enjoy the story and feel your feelings because we have emotional reactions to stories. I'm not begrudging anybody that. But then when it becomes something like, if this person doesn't notice me on the internet, I'm going to kill myself, or... you know, just, like, engaging in, like, stalking or harassing behavior specifically on the internet. Yeah, Critical Role is not your therapy session. Exactly. It's like, people joke about tabletop RPGs. We're getting on a soapbox a little bit here, but people talk about tabletop RPGs as being therapy, like, as a joke, but it's not. It can be therapeutic. Thank you. I will step up on the soapbox. It can be therapeutic to play tabletop RPGs and to explore things within yourself and your characters. I mean, I think it's hard for most people to not put a little bit of themselves in their characters because you're portraying a person of some kind with thoughts and feelings and emotions. But it's not therapy. The GM and the rest of the group, you know, are very likely not trained mental health professionals doing this in a therapeutic setting. And it's like, the game doesn't exist to help you work through your shit. You have to do that on your own time. And other people's tabletop role-playing games also don't exist to help you through your shit. It's not fair to your fellow players. It's not fair to the GM. It's not fair to yourself. Because, like, when you work on your shit, you need to go do that in a dedicated space where that can be your main focus. And it's not a game. It's not a story. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, exactly. I've also just, like, I haven't, like, totally, you know, retreated, obviously, from the tabletop RPG streaming world. But a lot of the streaming world in 2020 and 2021 felt like it turned more into that. And I was like, I can't deal with this level of emotional intensity in a game that I'm playing for fun. Like, I want to have my emotions, but I also don't want there to be such great overlap between every player and every character that we're all just, like, bleeding raw nerves of emotion. It's not healthy and it's not good. And I understand that, like, part of playing games and streaming and playing games for public consumption on the internet, which is still such a wild thing, is weird, uncharted territory. We don't really have good ideas of, like, what our own personal boundaries around this are always. in a way that, like, even playing games around a normal table felt like, you know, before safety tools really became such a commonplace thing that people even talked about for in real life games, just wasn't something that we discussed. And there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with that. It was just that we didn't know any better and we hadn't grown as people yet. So again, I'm not like blaming anybody for not knowing any better or for struggling to manage their emotions, but also like there's a line that got crossed a while ago in the Critical Role like fandom at large that made me just go, I don't really want any part of this. Like I'm happy to engage with the fan art that I enjoy and talk to people that I know for other things, like you, Kurt, you know, or other friends that I have, like my friend IRL who introduced me to Critical Role. We still talk about it, and we watched a bunch of the one-shots together. We talk about the animated thing, but I just like don't want to engage with that fandom space at large. It got too big. People brought too much of their personal shit and their personal baggage there, and are not dealing with those personal problems in their own time. And it's kind of weird because like the internet's great that it's facilitated a lot of openness talking about these things, like openness talking about your struggles and your mental health. And like the cast of Critical Role, especially with Between the Sheets, has always been really open about that. And that's great. But just because somebody shares that on the internet doesn't mean that you know them. It doesn't mean you're entitled to access to them. And it doesn't mean that you also then have to share everything on the internet, whether it's I'm putting it on social media or I'm putting this into a game or something. It's important for you to give yourself a measure of privacy. It's important for you to give yourself space to work through your thoughts and feelings without having to perform it for public consumption. And I don't mean perform in the sense that, you know, the person's faking it or being artificial somehow, but it is very different discussing those kind of things in a very public facing way that, say, Twitter is, versus talking about it with, you know, a therapist or a group chat of trusted friends, or spending some quality time in your personal journal, or whatever it is that you do to like help organize your thoughts. Like for me, it's journaling. It's journaling or drawing like comics and stuff. I make a lot of comics that are just about like what's going on in my brain. And that's not for anyone. That's just for me. I don't have to put that out on the internet to be authentic and to be taken seriously. You're right. Unless I bare my soul in unresolved trauma for the world to see, how will I get picked up for the next major project? And the funny thing is, none of these are really major projects. Okay? Like, none of these are going to be the next Critical Role. Critical Role is its own thing, and whatever comes next is going to be its own thing. If you're just chasing clout, you're going to wind up unhappy and unsatisfied. Exactly. They're supposed to be for fun. Even Critical Role started out as that. You know, it became something else. People made decisions. People made choices to have it change. But not every stream is going to be that. Not every stream should be like that. Not every game should be like that. You know, I like to have my off-stream games that I can be kind of goofy in and make, you know, slightly inappropriate. You know, I could just make like a dumb fart joke or something like that. Or, you know, put inside jokes in for the people around the table. And that just doesn't work for a public-facing streamed game. I'm not going to put a bunch of like inside jokes that only myself and my friends get and then be like, oh, I have to deal with Twitch chat. It's just not the place, you know? Thank you. I make good. I'm not sure if that's good ass jokes or good ass jokes, but either way, or if it's both, I appreciate that. Thank you. I try. But yeah, I was just thinking about, like, I played a game of The Quiet Year recently with Colin and my husband Sean when Colin came to visit. And it was just like, it was so silly. Like, we took the game, we actually like played it. We weren't, you know, taking it too lightly, but like we just put goofy stuff in there. Like the wrestler Samoa Joe was like a guy in the world that people revered as a god, and like his spirit went to possess a Mad Max car. And I'm like, that's just the kind of off the wall shit that like works for me. best in a fun home game that is not for public consumption and that's off stream. I think I would have gone into that game with a very different mindset and very different goals for what it would mean for me to have fun in that kind of a streamed game versus a home game. They just fulfill different niches. And playing a game in public does not necessarily make the game better than a game played in private. And it doesn't make you cooler because you streamed a game on the internet. It really doesn't. Like, we all took that really seriously in 2020 and 2021, and I'm just like, nah. That was just a fun time that I had. I wasn't hot shit. Alien space horror game is 100% going to be off stream. I think that that's great. And I have my own games that I run off stream too for that reason. There are some things that my players want to explore in storytelling that they are more comfortable doing in stories off stream than they are on stream. And I get that. I think that's sensible. I think that is the way to be respectful of yourself and your fellow players, to just be like, you know what? We want to tell this kind of story and we're more comfortable telling it off stream, so that's what we're going to do. I love that. I really do. Super psyched for Blade Runner. I'm really happy. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've loved my recent TTRPGs on stream, like the Flames of Freedom campaign that I did recently. I guess that wrapped up a while ago, but that was a long campaign. That was like a year-long campaign that we did, and I loved it. That was a good streamed game. You know, some of my Flames of Freedom ideas, those are home game ideas, you know? I don't really want to run my, like, super dark, scary, terrifying game on stream. I want that to be something that I just do for my friends. Yeah, it was a hot minute. That was, like, probably the second longest game I've ever been part of for a campaign. And the other one was my home game of 5th edition that lasted from about the time I moved to Seattle to 2020. Because the pandemic, we all stopped meeting up in person to play for obvious reasons. But then we never really, like, coalesced back together. Life just took us all in different directions. And it wasn't, you know, it's disappointing because I miss those guys. They were great. But we played that game for 3 years. That was great. That was so much fun. Yes, you're on my list of people for Flames of Freedom, so don't worry about that. I've got ideas in the hopper. I'm currently trying to get my off-stream D&D home game scheduled, but once I have that sorted away, I'm going to start sending out feelers for other games. But that group has been so patient, and we have had such scheduling issues that I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to take care of you first, and then... How did we get on this topic? I think we were talking about... Oh, yeah, we were talking about religions being cults, and, like, this nun is a cult baby. Which reminds me, after this, we're probably going to play some Cult of the Lamb. And some... What's the other one? Yeah, Cult of the Lamb is the big cult game that we're going to play next. So, on topic. All right, so let's see what she's going to say now. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. So there I was, 10,000 feet in the air, flat on my back. And they took you in just like that? Nobody asked what you wanted? Why should they? The Poor Clares rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. Again, like, that's not good. That's not a good way to live. You shouldn't be like, I want a donation of your baby. I would like to see the child. Like, that's not good. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord. But this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. I understand. I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking, as everyone keeps reminding me. Ah, I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margareta. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Ay, ay, ay. Can we break you out? Oh, I want to ask why don't you leave, but I'm going to say if you could do anything else, what would it be? I would have liked to go to one of the big cities, at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Thanks for listening, Magdalena. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. Damn. That was deep. Let's go to the convent chapel. Oh, hi. It's Sister Gertrude. This is the chapel where we all gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. Is this the... what's it called? The building from the picture in the mine? It looks like it. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a Burgfried long before the structure became a monastery. What does that mean? A freestanding defensive tower, not built for permanent habitation. Okay. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tossing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. That sounds dramatic. A noble history, comparable to Aeneas's founding of Rome, truly. Haha, I don't know about that, Magdalena, but it certainly was an endeavor to construct this place. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kearsal's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. The Lady Kearsal was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting. Even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kearsal is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, 1 male and 1 female, to guard the town and abbey. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire? Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the rat house. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalena. Alrighty. Convent courtyard. Oh, hey, it's Margareta. God bless you, Magdalena. And she's got Mousefanger. Convent kitchen, This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Isabeau take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. There's what, like 5 people living here? Seriously? Isabeau. God bless you, Magdalena. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. Wow, aren't you just a barrel of laughs? My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. That seems excessive. Not to those who have dedicated themselves to this order. No, the Almighty has given me a gift. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Blah. Or everyone gets old and you're not special. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. I mean, I guess you're not being executed right now, so... Yeah, didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes. But even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Oh boy. I don't really understand, but I'm glad it helps you persevere. Thank you, child. God bless you. It seems excessive. It's Marie. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? No, sister. I'm learning more about the convent's history so that I can finish a mural in town. Ah, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades. Longer than I've been alive, to be sure. That's actually quite cool. My dog is being weird. She's twisting herself like a pretzel. For no discernible reason other than she can. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabeau has greatly taken on that task for me, and boy is she shredding that fish. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong, according to the rule of St. Francis. Yes, mystic friar and founder of the Franciscan order. Born in Assisi to wealthy parents, St. Francis was called to a life of poverty and preaching. With his follower, St. Clare, he helped found the Order of Poor Clares. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. What? Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalena, please. Wait, what do you mean, this again? What made you think you saw a spirit, sister? The figure rose up through the very ground we stand on at vigils, not a fortnight ago. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. Rose up from where? From one of the secret tunnels beneath the town? We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. A spirit in Kirsau. Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalena? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. Of course, God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. But I wanted to keep asking her questions about that. Ay. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember, was this great, the convent great, the one that, was that the one that Andreas got into? I guess we can go out to the courtyard, huh? Brr, it's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you. Ugh, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Is that Veronica? Yes, you'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. Here, here. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? Snooping. Ooh, don't let me get in the way then. What an adventure. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. Dude, she's going to town with that water bucket. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's Mauritius myself. Oh, no. Who? Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of St. Moritz saving Tassing. What are you doing back there? Do you need to go outside? Let's see. All right. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, Sister? Oh, well, I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Stare in shock and horror. Sister Benedicta! I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalena. How could... Oh, never mind. Your story does give me an idea for the Rat House mural, at least. Maybe I can preserve the tale there. Thanks for telling me about the book, Sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you, Sister. Haha, thanks, Magdalena. God bless you. Who on earth Let's a fire poker go on a book? Convent art studio. This is gonna be kind of cool. The workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming to see the Hand of St. Moritz. It looks like everything was just left here after the fire. Nothing's been used in years. We can't subsist on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce good for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. But art allows us to find beauty in life. Even Christ said the Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. I agree, but that's not the rule of the poor Clares. Mother Francisca considers art a temptation into hedonism. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here unless to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots, too. You think it's the ghost Sister Marie was talking about? Haha. Whatever Sister Marie thinks, I don't think spirits can enter holy ground. Besides, what would a ghost need with dried up paints and brushes? I don't know. Good point. It's probably something else. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalena, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'd hate it here. Probably. Such valuable paint left to dry and crack on the palettes. There's an old parchment scrap here. It's different from the others. There it is. It looks like a scrap from a manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margin. It says the Mithraeum of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood. Mithraeum. That's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. This might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mithraeum. I don't know. It's not a word I've ever heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. Well, the note says the Mithraeum was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now. I think that means it actually matters quite a bit. These old badges are beautiful. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them too. Well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much here. What do you think of it? To be honest, it seems like a life of drudgery. Yes, certain parts of our life here can be frustrating. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. I think you should go. I do. Your family just left you here. You don't owe the sisters anything. I do, though. The sisters have taken care of me. They love me and I love them. Is that really true, though? I don't think that's really true. Even if this life wasn't my choice, they accepted me. Who knows, maybe it will get better in time. Somehow I'm skeptical. Maybe. I'll try to help any way I can, even if it's just sneaking around the convent wall to say hello. Really? That would be wonderful, so long as no one found out. Anyway, we should return to Mother Francisca before she suspects something. I didn't learn as much as I'd hoped for the mural, but I'm glad I got to meet you. No, thank you, Magdalena. Today has been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother Francisca. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Well, Magdalena, what is your assessment of the poor Clares? Oh boy. Get ready for it. Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? I had a thought, Mother. Perhaps my divine vision wasn't that holy after all, though I do appreciate the sanctioned tour. The Lord will repay you for your insolence, child. Do not test him. Oh, pish-posh. Last time I checked, you don't carry his authority. Anyway, I'd better get going. Magdalena, I had thought better of you. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of an old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. I will pray that you find your way, Magdalena. God bless you. Oh, geez. Oh, Sister Gertrude. Ah, Magdalena. How did your little expedition go? I'm frustrated there's so little left of the old abbey and the saints. But, Sister, there's something I don't understand. The abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tossing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tossing and moved on. In truth, the abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Kirsau was running out of money and patrons. The riot and fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. Guess what I'm about to do? I doubt you'd find anything of help for your mural inside, other than charred wood and parchment. It might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Magdalena, I really do. Thank you for all your help, Sister Gertrude. You are most welcome, Magdalena. God bless you. All right. We're going to check out the old abbey. Visiting the poor Clares. Gotta pet the son of Mousefanger. Sweet little cat. We never really did find out why Brother Guy had money stashed in the herbal thing. Well, that was, I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of Kirsau. And that illustration from the manuscript, the Mithraeum, it was like the one in the mine. Is it part of the history of the Abbey, of Tassing? It must be written down somewhere. If only the library hadn't burned down with everything in it. I don't think everything's gone, though. That's... the ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. I mean, we gotta go in. This is gonna be... Oh, this is gonna be weird and probably sad. Oh, wow. Aww. My God, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. Ooh. Oh, shit! Oof. Easy there, Magdalena. Oh no, I can't get back up there. If I climb, it might collapse further. Guess I'll die now. I'm trapped here forever. I'll have to find another way out. Well, Anna knows another way out because Anna's been playing this game. The tower. Vines. There's nothing left of this old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. Those vines go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. I don't think I ever made it this far up in the tower. Well, we'll see. Oh no, I did. Wow. I can see all of Tossing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. Oh, God. I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. It doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, Magdalena, how are you going to get out of here? A cemetery and roses. Wow. I spent a lot of time here. Oh, a new cat. I wonder if there were always this many cats at the Abbey. Perhaps I can ask Waslav what he remembers during his time here. This place is a mess. How sad. The door's stuck. I can't get through this way. Oh, an old mural. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A dance of death? It didn't look like this before, though. Wait. These figures look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Someone's been adding to this. It's Cherneau and the Miller. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the Dance of Death, and why? These look like people from the town, from here. People who died. That must be the Baron, and that's Otto. Wait, is that... Uh-oh. Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? I don't like this. I do not like this. The door. Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything left of the Abbey. I want to get out of here. Then yes, let's leave. Good Lord. Oh, it's snowing. When did it start snowing? Literally just now, I guess. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Oh boy. What a day. I guess the only other thing I could really add to this is asking Father Thomas what the Latin says, but I don't really want to do that. So we'll just go painting, I suppose. It's Carl. Carl! Ooh, what's this gonna look like when it's done? I can't wait to see. Coral! Good evening, Magdalena. What are you doing here? Good evening, Dr. Stoltz. I see you're progressing on the town mural. You've made rapid progress. Yeah, you know what? It's not like I'm trying to deal with 2 cold case unsolved murders and being stalked by a ghost or anything. How's your day? I mean, you're just a doctor. What do you know? Yeah. I'm trying to finish it in time for Dad. You understand? I'm doing the best I can to give him as much time as I can. The rest is in God's hands. Thank you. It's appreciated. Of course. Now then, the council has asked to hear about your progress. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And what have you chosen, if I may ask? I like all of these options. But I actually think that painting all of the saints is going to be the artistic choice I want. I'll paint St. Moritz, St. Satya, and Our Lady of the Labyrinth receiving the Christian settlers. They are the saints closest to Tassing and Kirsau and have been part of our history for generations. The saints are a central part of Tassing's identity and income. Yeah, we know. Honoring them in the mural will be well received by the town. The Lord will look on it favorably as well. You must always keep in mind that the mural is not just for you, but for all of Tassing. Just let me do my job, Doctor. Humph. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. Ah, yes. I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. It's a strange thing to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. Yeah, this guy murdered everyone. I don't like him. I'm not a huge fan of his either. I still think Father Thomas and the Anchorite are up to no good, but I don't like this guy either. He's not my favorite. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've all just locked it away. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Dr. Stoltz. Yes? Have you ever seen someone lurking around the Abbey? Or heard about it? I haven't been up to the Abbey in years, and no, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? I've seen someone following me a few times. I'm sorry to hear that. I guess that's one way of responding to the situation. Didn't you run into that odious woodsman Hallerbrand not long ago? Yes, but I don't think it's the same person. Well, if you have concerns, you should ask one of the boys to escort you when you're out. There's no need to risk your safety. You're right. Good night, Dr. Stoltz. Good night, Magdalena. I have my suspicions here. Now I only have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. But what was his name? The only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon who came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Essler. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as an Archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther too. I'll write to them tonight before bed. Okay, let's do... All right, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon Jacob Essler and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll write a letter to Esther too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. Jacob Essler, formerly Archdeacon of Freising. My name is Magdalena Druckerin. I am an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kirsau Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? I'll ask about the notes. In particular, do you remember anything about someone writing notes to provoke the killer? More have appeared in Tassing in subsequent years, seemingly harbingers of death. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalena Druckerin. Dearest Esther, I hope you are well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Simond. And Alicia, too, of course, and your parents. Hi. Hey, you. Come on in. Good girl. Crazy puppy. Yeah. Make a little nest for it. You're a weird little ball baby. You got it. Good girl. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. She's playing with her ball. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You've said it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in winter. Dad is doing poorly, but at least he seems comfortable. He's sleeping more, but Dr. Stoltz says that's a consequence of the colder weather. Did you lose the ball, Meg? Did you lose your ball? Did you lose the ball? Here. Let me help you. Oh. There you go. Yeah, you got it. You got it. My dog is losing it. My dog is losing it. She's losing it. Magdalena, your letter will have to wait. Hey. Yeah, you're gonna settle down and just chew it? Okay. Okay. Sounds good. We'll see if she gets up and decides, hey, I'm gonna go crazy puppy again. Arrah. Yeah. Yeah. I see you. I see you. Okay. I do what I can for him, but this winter has been hard. I've asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much she and Dr. Stolz can do. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. Christ, I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After I explored the mines to see Tossing's early history, and then again in the Abbey ruins. If it's the person who attacked my dad, why are they following me? It's the strangest thing, given me a fright a few times already. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. The only good news I can share at the moment is that the mural is almost finished. I should have it completed by Christmas or soon after, before the new year at least. Then perhaps at long last I shall be able to visit you and meet this Simond. Anyway, I fear that this will be my last letter of the year. The Reichspost has already been late and reported worsening snows through the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simond. Yours always, Magda. Oh, it's the same day. I thought we were going to have a big time jump. What is this? How did this get here? Oh no, it says stop. This is just like the note Dad found. This is bad, y'all. Who is doing this? I have a feeling I'm going to find out sooner or later. I need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. But he's been so weak, I don't want to upset him. I just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. Oh my God. Is he asleep? Dear Father. Totally not related to the game I'm playing, which you just read. Episode 3 was originally set at 2 hours long. Oh, wow. Of The Last of Us? Papa. Magdalena. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Alright, I'll come back and check on you later. Alright. They cut an hour of footage? Oh, man. Because the producers said it hurt too much. Oh, boy. Clean this up later. The mural's more important. Okay. Wow, okay. It's time to go to sleep. So here's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this game before I have other stuff to do tonight. So my question is, do I keep playing on the off chance that I can? Or do I just wait? I feel like we're hurtling toward an ending, but we might not be. and I've been wrong before. Hi. Hello. Oh, don't hit your head on the thing, baby. Mistress Druckrin, only one letter for you today. All right, we at least have to get through the letter. The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse. And me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. The same to you. Meg is losing it. She's losing it all right. Ah, a reply from Jacob Estler. Wow, he's really old now. And rich. Mistress Druckrin. I do recall the Rothvogel case, though it has been over a decade since I have served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. I mean, I'm okay with it. The notes you mentioned do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned at Kirzau was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Mahler. He mentioned finding notes, written in a fine hand, indicting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my investigation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now, after so many years, must mean that their author is still active. Well, obviously. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. My dude, what a killer line. A serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. Somebody get this man a Pulitzer, please. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? Well, you want to know what I think about that. Please do not knock the guitar over, ma'am. That's important, actually. You can get it. You can find it. Good girl. Her playing with this tennis ball is the cutest thing ever. You got it? You get it? You want some help? You want some help? Yeah. Para. Yes, I'm looking at you. I think what causes the serpent to awaken every few years is actually... It's got to be connected somehow to Perchta and the old ways, like sacrifice stuff. I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. I mean, that is the worry, isn't it? However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke its old resting places. Oh, almost certainly. I hope that this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Essler. Well, well, what have we here? No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. What are you doing back there, lady? Where is it? Get it. Get the tennis ball. Where was I? I do not recall. This dog might need some playing with, though. We might need to take a quick break. Take a breather. I better get back to the rat house, then. Still more work to be done. Gonna get closer to December. 22, 23, 24. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hang on, Maggie. Yeah, good girl. Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mural and now I can start the final part today. Give me just 1 second. We're gonna put up a BRB and make sure this dog does not lose her mind further. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. The dog has been placated. I'm gonna do as much as I can before I have to leave, because it's only a matter of time before she has to go out for a longer walk. So, we can start the final part of the mural today. Oop. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalena, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz says you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Perchtenlauf, a Germanic folk ritual celebrated around Christmas time in which townsfolk dress as Perchten and drive evil spirits from the town to protect it in the coming new year. And the pagan ritual worked so well the last time we did this. There's always next year. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said he would come by again today. Fine. I'm fine. Maybe I should stay home with you today. No, Magdalena. If you want to work, you should work. It's all right. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like the note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalena, Oh God, that must be Oates. He said he'd drop by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, all right? I know. I will. Can we talk about it later? Dad, I'll tell you, I promise. All right. I'll be back later. Good. Take care of yourself out there. Oy, oy, oy. It is Oates. Morning, Magdalena. Morning, Oates. Cold out, isn't it? Freezing. Makes me envy Nico, able to stay inside all day. Even Endris has his forge to keep him warm. Anyway, here, I brought some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Oates. You're welcome. So, how's your dad? You think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the Peasants' Revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about. It affected Tossing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who are already adults that night, but don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Clara sometimes talks about that night. Mom, too. You might be able to ask them. Waslav and Matilda are the only two Benedictines left in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. I didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassing, not the old abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she'd talk about it. It's your project, Magdalena. Might be worth a try. I wrote to the old archdeacon about it, too. He thinks that the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. But how? Literally how? The who? The man who came to Tassing for the Baron Rothvogel's murder. What about him? He was the judge for the Baron's murder. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I don't see how that old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling all right? I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this mural project is getting to you. I guarantee you it's not. Ugh, you're useless. Whatever. I'm just trying to look out for you. I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. See you later, Mags. Ugh. Utz is right. I should start talking to people around town. I better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the Perchtenlauf. Oh, brother. Okay. Saying hi to everybody. We haven't talked to the Gertners in a while. Oof. Looks like they've fallen on some hard times. Bigyorg. Hello, Magdalena. Gret? Is this Clara? Yeah. Hello, Magdalena. I would have thought you'd be working on the mural today. What brings you here? I would like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion so that I can paint it, if that's all right. Ah, that was a sad time. It's really cool to see that Ursula grew up, though. Well, now she's asleep, so guess she got the zoomies out. If it will help you memorialize those we lost in the revolt, yes, I'll answer a few questions. I don't mind. I was a little older than you, so I probably remember more, Magdalena. Of course, Magdalena, we'll tell you all you want to know. I've been looking forward to seeing the mural for some months. Come, sit with us. Now that you're all settled, what did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the other murder that happened in Tassing? Oh, the murder of the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper in both situations. I suppose that's when things started going poorly. Yes, after Prior Ferenc was discovered as a witch, people weren't as willing to trust the Abbey anymore. Then the abbot became more severe. He didn't like that the prior's death rattled his control of Tassing. I still think that the old prior cursed the town. That's when crops started failing. I don't know about any of that, but his taxes and restrictions, and his attitude towards us, became harsher after that. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, was the revolt really justified? I keep hearing conflicting stories about how it began. I thought the peasants stormed the abbey unprovoked, and the Landsknechts had to be called in. That's not how it happened. He wasn't there at all, was he? He's just some well-to-do noble who hates the idea of peasants having anything. Now, Ursula, let's not be unchristian in the matter. There were so many other revolts going on at the time, and Kirsau was not an uninfluential abbey. Sin abounded on all sides, and I won't deny that many mistakes were made that night, but we did everything we could to keep things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. The Lord wanted people in your town to die? Some of this does not make sense. I remember how sick and hungry I was all the time. Grandpa kept saying it hadn't always been like that. All was fine until Hannah, Nico's wife, killed Otto because she feared what would happen if the abbey shut down. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. When that soldier arrived and threatened us, all the townsfolk pulled away, except for you and Ulrich, Gret. No, Clara, I'm afraid even I was intimidated, and begged Ulrich to leave the matter be. My husband alone stood with the peasants. Could the revolt have succeeded if the townsfolk didn't pull away? I still think so. Most of the other townsfolk see the revolt's failure as proof that it was doomed from the start. Truly, if the entire town banded together, we likely could have succeeded without violence at all. That was the whole point. That was what I was trying to get everybody to do as Andreas, and it failed. Like, 'twas sad, because it freaking failed. By then, we were so starved and wanted justice so much, Peter truly thought success was possible. There was still some discussion. Ulrich and Andreas wanted peace. Then that fucking Miller protected that bitch. He always hated us, thought he was better than us. Ursula, language! What, Mom? It's true. Leonard even shot Ulrich out of nowhere. It was unprovoked? Yes, Leonard always did hate the rest of the townsfolk, and he would take advantage of anyone he could. I mean, that much is true. My husband sought peace to the last. He was a martyr to us. Yeah, Ulrich getting shot and killed in the street when he was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be a vigilante mob was very heartbreaking. I think the Millers shot Ulrich to retaliate, but after that, Peter couldn't be stopped. We'd lost too much. The burning of the abbey was a grim night, and the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, to protect Tassing, and many died in that fight. But we got rid of the abbot and all the monks at least. Yes, and that is some comfort, if only a little. Are there any heroes of Tassing I should memorialize? Dad, definitely. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing, even if he acted rashly by setting fire to the abbey. I hope you can portray him in the best light, Magdalena. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope we provided enough insight for your work. You did, thank you. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you, Magdalena. I'm certain the mural will be beautiful. Okay. Haven't got much time left. Am I ever gonna find out what this was all about? Ill Peter. Magdalena. It's Apollo and Artemis. Hello, Magdalena. Well... Oh, we never did find out what happened to the old lady that... What was her name again? Oh, God, I just played this game. I should know. Oh, wait, that's not where I wanted to go. Where does Agnes live again? I don't remember this. Is it in here? I thought this was where Gret lives. I guess so. Ah, yes. Magdalena Druckeren, I didn't expect to see you today. How is your father? He's not well, honestly. Oh no, I'm so sorry. He'll be in our prayers tonight. Ours as well. Now then, is there something we can help you with, dear? I love how Brigitte and Veronica just were like girlfriends all this time. They kept up with it and I appreciate that. I have a small favor to ask. Oh, go on then, spit it out. If it isn't too much trouble, I'd like you all to recount what you remember of the revolt. I'm nearly done with my mural, but I need more details. I was so young I don't remember much of that night. Oh, for that project of yours in the rat house. I'm afraid I won't have much good to say about the matter, but all right. Come sit down, Magdalena. Don't worry about helping with the wreaths. It took me years to get the technique up to Mom's expectations, so you're better off not helping. Pah, you always did fine, Brigitte. So, Magdalena, what do you need to know to finish the mural? I was hoping to ask you more about the revolt. All I can remember was the flames when the abbey burned. What part of the revolt? The abbot starving us out of house and home? Otto's murder? I doubt that would be a good painting. I thought there was an attempt to talk to the abbot. There was, until Otto was killed. After that, the monks shut themselves up in the abbey library. Meanwhile, that bastard abbot only ever cared for how many pfennigs he could get from us. Brigitte, don't forget to twist the ends in. Can't have it looking like a Christmas hedgehog. I'm getting there, Mom. I've looked after Martin and Croft well enough, haven't I? I can manage this. Yes, well, after your father died, I've got no one left to nag besides you and that husband of yours. Thank God I have the both of you, as a matter of fact. Let an old woman have her vices. The Gertner house was a bit sad. Jorg always gets quiet this time of year. I heard ill Peter keeps mistaking big Jorg for Peter. Has that got something to do with it? Best watch what you overhear, Magdalena. But yes, I reckon so. Tassing's lost many folk over the years, and feast days make it harder to bear. You mean the revolt, right? The revolt, the murders, that fool Andreas had to meddle in everything. Didn't do too much good, if you ask me. Andreas Mahler, the artist? I thought he was my dad's friend. He was, and I can't fault your father for that. Master Mahler was an interesting man. He'd already meddled enough in Tassing after the Baron's murder that he held more sway than he knew. I could understand it the first time. He wanted to save that old monk. I dare say he saw him as a father. And it was proven the prior was a witch, so I suppose he did some good for Tassing then. I think Waslav might be the only person left in Tassing who even remembers the old prior. Humph, that's when the trouble started, I say. The townsfolk saw a monk killed and the abbot was incensed. Then came the revolt, and Andreas Mahler happened to show up nearly the day of Otto's murder. Did the revolt accomplish anything? Well, the entire matter was a horrible bloody mess, but did restore peace in Tassing, by force. A shame it had to happen at all, I think. I knew the revolt was a bad idea from the start. Old Waslav would be the only one to know what happened inside the old church now, before the fire. Some like to say things were always this bad, that violence was the only way, but it wasn't. Life got worse over the years. It wasn't like this when I was a child, not in my grandparents' time either. Sure, the abbot was pinching the townsfolk and the peasants were suffering, but to go against the church? But like you said, things weren't always so bad. We fought to make things right. Well, the revolt didn't totally fail, did it? The abbot and monks have left. The abbey may be gone, but Tassing has only traded one lord for another. The peasants were so angry over the abbot's perceived injustices that they thought they could make it right with even more injustice. Then the abbey caught fire and everyone ran, but by then the soldiers had arrived to stop them all. That soldier even warned Peter, but nothing would stop him besides steel. So nothing got better at all? No, not as I see it. The Lord is just as severe as the abbot was and threatens force at every turn. That's life. You can struggle and die to accomplish something and nothing changes. Heh, the dead are luckier. They died believing they changed something. We're stuck with the harsh reality. This is all you've known, Magdalena. You've grown used to it. We all have. Thank you for sharing your story with me. It's important to share our suffering with the younger generations. Maybe they can change something. Good luck on the mural, Magdalena. Good luck, Magdalena. Oh my gosh, okay. Crafting wreaths. I do like the drawings. Seems that the Benedictines are holed up at the Golden Hand Inn. So that is where I shall go. Who's this? Well, if it isn't Magdalena? That's me. Ah, good. I have seen you around and heard your name mentioned. I apologize for not introducing myself sooner. I am Alexander. This is my partner, Kazimierz. We are musicians by trade, travelers by necessity. The weather trapped us on our way back to Würzburg for a Christmas celebration. I had hoped to win the Meistersinger competition there, but alas, we are trapped here until the passes clear. Members of a guild for lyric poets, composers, and singers of unaccompanied art songs. Meistersingers perform in regular competitions often held at a Rathaus or church. How are you finding Tassing? Everyone has been quite kind, and no one has thrown anything at me for my music. Considering the circumstances, I'm counting that as a success. I have to admit I was quite upset that I had missed my opportunity to sing at the Meistersinger competition. He practiced so much for it. Yes, it's hard not to view the last year as a waste. You can try again next Christmas, can't you? Of course. Though the older I get, the less comfort I take in the possibilities of the future. Missed opportunities sting more with each passing year. Well, you have an audience here, the people of Tassing. And perform for them I will. I love performing for people wherever I go. When I sing for people, I want to move them. I want to see it on their faces. It's only in that moment that I can connect with them. That's the only truth I know. Meistersinger judges will rate me as they will, but that's not why I want to perform for them. I want to move the masters the way they moved me. Does that make sense? I think so. My dad is my teacher, and his approval means a lot to me. I think we all want the approval of those who came before us. And someday, someone will look to me for approval. Hard to imagine. I'm sorry, just feeling a bit melancholy, I suppose. Cheer up, Christmas is here. Of course, in our darkest hours, the birth of our Lord reminds us that John will follow. Excuse me, our Savior. I don't remember getting to talk to these guys earlier. Perhaps the Christmas feast will lift my spirits. Will I see you there? Absolutely. Almost everyone in town should be there. Then I look forward to it. Until then. He's writing stuff down instead of speaking. Hello, Magdalena. You're Kazimierz, right? You're with Alexander. Musicians? Yes, I play shaman lute. He sings. Do you mind if I ask what happened to your voice? Rather not. What are you two doing in Tassing? Ask Alexander. Sorry. Oh, well, I did. All right, I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks. God bless you. Who can we talk to? Hans, Waslav, Yota. All right, I think we'll probably do that in just a moment. But for right now, I want to make sure that I have enough time to take the puppers out. So I think we're going to call the stream for today. And find somebody to go raid. This game just keeps getting weirder. All the time. I don't know what to make of all this, you know? Alright. Who can we raid? Why don't we say hi to... Oh, let's see. Shut up and sit down. I'll take a raid. Sweet. We're gonna go raid Shut Up and Sit Down, who are playing some board games. To everybody that is watching now and anybody that's watching the VOD, thank you. This was a long one. Thank you for being here. We will revisit this probably tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, we'll see. But until then, take care, and I will see you all later.